Welcome to Approved Home Pros. I am host and co-founder Sean Johnson here with my good friend Greg Cantor, owner and kind of all-knowing person with everything home improvement for Murray Lampert Design Build Remodel. Greg, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Sean?
Very, very good. Your arm seems to be healing a little bit better. We had surgery a couple weeks ago. I think our audience knows. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I do physical therapy, and the next day I kind of suffer a little bit, but it's getting better. The range of motion, I can lift my arm up. So
this is radio, Greg. People didn't see that, but I'll describe it for people. Your arm went up.
Thank you. Thank you.
But today we've got a great show on tap. We are going to be talking about myths of roof repairs, some great trends in flooring. One of our pros just got back from a great show in Las Vegas, so we're going to be hearing from Cheryl all about the different trends in flooring and also about automated shades. We're going to be learning about automation and the way it can affect your lifestyle. So we got a great show on tap today. Before we jump into it, Greg, water rates are a big topic in San Diego right now. What's going on with water rates?
Screaming about it, and I guess they're blaming one meter reader, but I think it's more broad of an issue. But the thing is, the water utility is now put in smart meters, so it should alleviate the problem with reads. But in the day, people would get reads that were not, they were just estimated, and you could tell on your bill if your meter was actually read or not. And if you have a leak, you may not find out for a few months, and your bill gets rolled up.
Yeah, and they don't want to give you that money back for that. So people have been getting very, very high bills, and what the water department has been saying is that there was a meter reader that misread 343 meters in San Diego, causing an average $300 overcharge. And they said it happened in specific areas. I'm seeing Carmel Valley, Mira Mesa, Rancho Penasquitos, and Rancho Bernardo. But other parts of the city are getting the same thing. I think it's beyond just that.
It is beyond, and I'm hearing even one of my friends had a leak, and it cost them a lot of money, and it took a couple months to discover it. So, but I do think the good news is long term with the smart meters, it's not going to be. It's a science, It's not going to be some one person.
It's not a guess.
Right.
Yeah. Right now, though, if you are out there and you have had a bill that seems too high to you and you're in that group that's been overcharged, the recommendation is to get a hold of the Public Utilities Commission and report it to them, and you're going to be able to get hopefully some help with that. I know it's a difficult process. Nobody wants to go through, but get a hold of the PUC if you got any trouble with it. So let's jump right into the show because we got a packed wall-to-wall show. And one of our good friends, one of our favorite people in the roofing industry, because he's an expert across various areas, been in it forever. Not that you're that old, but Wayne Sorensen from Topline Roofing is with us. Wayne, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Greg, you wanted to cover some common myths because there's some myths that people buy into, and people want to maybe go the quick or what they think is the quick and cheap route. Usually ends up being the expensive and troublesome route. Yeah. But there's some myths out there, right?
There is. I mean, there's no roofer in a can or roofer in a drum that's gonna, that's just a short-term quick fix. Well, so we really want to jump into all these things.
Yeah, let's talk about the first myth that's out there. Is Wayne, that people think that the Flex Seal that you can buy in a can, there are great uses for Flex Seal. Flex Seal, not knocking the product. We talked about it with Ace the other day, but people think that can repair a roof leak. True?
Well, I've never actually seen it. Like I always say, it looks like it can float a boat, but I'm not sure it'll fix a roof. And usually just spraying something topical like that doesn't solve people's roofing problems. No, I've never seen it.
Because the leak isn't coming from the shingles, really, from the top. Typically, it's coming from underneath, and all you're doing is just slapping something over the top and maybe not getting to the root of the issue.
Exactly. That's what we find. So
Flex Seal, not a great roof. It's not the replacement for a roofer. Could you use it if you had something that was coming, water coming in, and you called maybe you, a Topline or another roofer, and they couldn't get out right away? Could it be used for a short term, or do you not even recommend that?
I've never seen it be effective on a roof because of the way the product is. It's a spray, and I just never seen it that they actually solve the problem.
I would question how durable it is in the sun, because there's products that are designed for the sun, and I just don't know how well this would hold up.
Yeah, it's not a real solution. We want to bring, and I knew that. I don't think I would try it on the roof, but I can see where somebody might think that because you see the ads and it looks like it can solve everything. It can solve global warming. The people think, it can solve anything. Okay, next big one, and Greg, in prep we talked a lot about this. It caused some great conversation. My gutters are overflowing and causing a leak in my house. Wayne, can overflowing gutters cause a leak?
What's interesting about this, I hear this quite often from people that will say that they have a leak and they believe it's their gutter and the gutter's overflowing. The problem people don't understand is most houses have a 2 foot or so overhang, maybe a foot to 2 foot overhang. Well, for a gutter overflow, you got to overflow and then back up 2 feet on the roof. That just practically doesn't happen. So I don't think that would, no.
So the only other point, though, I agree with you 100% on that. But what is important is a quality roofer. When you're doing a re-roof and gutters, I've seen so many times where the roof is short of the gutters or there's not a flashing, so that to make sure that the water comes off the roof into the gutters and doesn't cause wood rot or go through the gutters and eventually, can cause a flood inside the house on the ground floor. Those kind of things are important.
Yeah, and obviously gutter cleaning is very important too. We're not saying don't clean your gutters. Yes, clean them. But usually that's not going to cause the problem inside the house for a roof leak is what we find, where some people think it does.
Agreed.
We had a situation in our house where we did have our gutters were overflowing, and the water was backing up and coming down the wall and coming in through a window area. So that was a problem that the gutters caused, but it wasn't a roof leak. You're
And
exactly
most
right.
likely you don't have an overhang then, right?
I'm trying to remember
probably
that
don't have an
wall.
overhang.
Very slight overhang.
Yeah, and that's where it could be an issue.
Okay. Greg, what's the next myth? I think it's if you leave it alone. Is that the one?
Right. If you leave it alone, maybe the roof that was just a one-time leak and it's just going to fix itself or go away.
The ostrich theory.
Yeah. Quite often we'll have some people say that. They say, well, it leaked this one time, so we thought it was just the rainstorm or a wind blown, but, it came back. Well, roof leaks don't just go away. I mean, it's going to continue. So if it happens once, it should probably be looked at because you're probably going to have a problem in the future.
It's not going to self-vulcanize, right?
No, it's not going to do that. And then it's just going to cause more damage, and that's what you don't want, the interior damage.
Well, that completely makes sense. A roof leak is not going to fix itself, and I think what people fall victim to is, the roof leak fixed itself. The leak went away when the clouds went away, and then when the clouds and the rain came back, gosh, the roof leak came back.
Yeah, it's amazing when it's not raining, it never leaks.
Yeah, leaks don't happen when it's not raining. Yes, I wonder if they're related. Wayne, if we're going to come back after we go into the break, and we got some other things to cover, but we're going to talk more with you. But if there's any leak or anything happening with your roof, they should definitely call you, and we'll talk more about why a roof inspection is very important. What's the number somebody would call you at to be able to handle anything with a roof?
It's 858-505-5903.
And you might want to think about making that call.
Give that one more time.
Okay, 858-505-5903.
Because we have storms in the track next week. We're supposed to
do
get
we?
rain.
I
So
haven't
you
even
might
looked at
want to
the-
make
at
that
the
call.
forecast.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, it's really important to make that call. Because the worst thing in the world, and we've talked about this a lot on the show, you never want to look at your home from the street and see a blue tarp on your roof, right? That's not a pretty sight.
Definitely not.
Yeah, that's something that people do not want to see. If you need to find Wayne or any of our other pros, anybody you're going to hear today, Cheryl with Superior Flooring, Matt, and anybody that we're talking to today, great. Then you go to ApprovedHomePros.com and you can find anything you need. I just said great to the engineer to talk to the air.
glass.
Yeah, the people can't hear that on the radio too. I got to remember this is a radio show. But it's time for Ace Hardware Project of the Week. Stacey, are you on the line with us?
Yes, I am here. Good morning.
Good morning,
Stacey.
Stacey.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
It's been a while since we've had a chance to see you and your wonderful stores. Before we jump into it, tell people where your two stores are.
Yes, we have two stores. One is in Carmel Valley, which is just east of Del Mar, and then Forest Ranch is our second store location in San Diego.
Yeah, and there's Ace Hardwares throughout the area, and you can find them all at sdacehardware.com. Our project of the week this week is about floor care. What are some of the key things about floor care that we should be thinking of that you can help us with at Ace Hardware?
Well, first of all, you spend a lot of money when you install your hardwood floors, and it's really, really simple to maintain them if you just do a few things like daily cleaning, and then obviously you want to polish them too every 2 to 4 months to maintain that finish.
And for that, you use Bona, right?
Yes, that's the best. It's the easiest product to use. It's water-based. It's just a fabulous cleaner and all-around cleaner.
We use it religiously. We have the old school oak plank flooring, and it works great. It makes our floors look brand new every time.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's really easy, and you can buy the big refill containers so you have it always on hand.
And don't you have kits, too, that have different products?
Yes, we do. There's different kits. It comes with the sprayer and the bottle included, or you can just get the refills. We have the cloths and the rags that go on the cleaners too, as well.
Well, in terms of how to use the polish and use Bona, we can't give a full detail, but there's some important things about it. One of them is testing a certain area of the floor, an inconspicuous area, to make sure that it's going to be color safe, correct?
Absolutely. You should always do that whenever you're using a new cleaner. And then when you apply it, you just want to use a feathering technique so you don't see the edges around where you're using it. Of course, when you apply the polish, you want to make sure and dust and clean the floor first, and then give it a wet cleaning with the Bona hardwood floor cleaning, the daily cleaner. And then you can just simply spray the Bona polish onto the floor and spread it with the applicator and allow it to dry for about an hour, and then you're good to go for about 2 to 4 months with that polish.
It's a great product. I've used it. Greg's used it. We've all used it. You have a red hot buy right now with the Bona products. What's the special offer?
This is one of the best ones we have. It's a buy one, get one 50% off. So you can really stock up. You can get your applicators and your cleaners, and that'll last you till you need to refill again in a couple months.
And will the ACE discount work with that too?
Oh, absolutely. It's a reward throughout the month of February, so just come and show your rewards card, and you'll get that instant rebate.
Stacy, thank you so much. I think we're going to talk to you again next week. Go see Stacy at Del Mar, Carmel Valley, or the Forest Ranch, Ace Hardware, or any of the other Ace Hardwares throughout San Diego. Thank you so much.
Have a great day, guys. Thank you.
That's our Ace Hardware Project of the Week.
Welcome back to the Approved Home Pro Show, San Diego's most trusted home improvement resource.
Welcome back to Approved Home Pros. One of the pros that I really am so happy that is a part of our network is Sunlight Solar. Jeff Corelli and the team at Sunlight Solar are just wonderful solar people and wonderful people. One of the things I really like about Sunlight, and Jeff in particular, he started the company Sunlight Solar many years ago, largely to help people financially, and because solar is such a great economic concept for people with their homes to save them money. But the other part is, and I don't think we talk about it enough, is it's also great for our community and the environment, and it's a way to go green without having to go and do a bunch of things that, you don't have to go pick up the beach or, pick up trash or make any other major changes. It just fits in with your lifestyle. So if you want to call Sunlight Solar, call Jeff Corelli today. Great folks, 619-489-7277. That's 619-489-7277. And when you mention Approved Home Pros, you can save $500 on your solar system with Sunlight Solar. So welcome back to the show. We are talking about common roof myths and ways to not fall victim to that with Wayne Sorensen from Top Line Flooring. Later in the show, we're going to be talking about great flooring trends and design trends in flooring with Superior Floor and Cabinet. Also, Matt from Legacy Shading is in with us. We're going to be talking all about automation with blinds and window treatments, which is just a whole area that I had never even thought too much about, but it can just change your lifestyle. Wayne, let's jump right back into it. We were kind of halfway through our list of common myths. The next myth that we have with roofing is that a roof leak can start on one side of the house and move to the other. So people think that that a roof leak can break the laws of physics. Is basically correct.
Yeah,
right?
we get that all the time. Well, somebody will say that, hey, we got a leak, but I know it can happen, and it's in the living room, but we think it's coming from the garage. Well, roof's not, water's not going to really do that. It does have to follow physics, so it's going to run downhill with least resistance. Is what water's going to do.
And people say that to you, or is
we
it
get people
because
all the time say, we know that it can start way over here and leak way over here. Well, not really.
Water can travel some. I mean,
It's gonna travel.
Cases it does happen where it
Right,
moves
but
a bit.
downhill least resistance.
Downhill least resistance. So it's
That's
not
what
going to
it's gonna
travel
do.
uphill.
Right.
It's not going to jump over joists and things like
No,
that.
no, it's
but
just
it
not.
can. The roof leak is not necessarily directly above where you see the spot on your ceiling. It can be slightly off that or a little bit off, but it
Right,
generally
usually uphill somewhere.
uphill somewhere.
Because it's running downhill. So yeah, that's what you're going to usually find. So that's why I always find that a lot of people somehow think that it could be coming from somewhere where it's just not practical. It'd be coming from. So which is our job. We track it and figure out what's going on. But we've been doing it for 7 years, and we just kind of have an idea what water's going to do, and we can usually track it and figure out what's happening.
So just getting started there, kind of learning your way around, learning the ropes. 27 years, right?
Yeah.
What's our
So
next
the
myth?
last one on the list, I believe, is if you spread enough black stuff, in quotations, from the big box store over your roof, it will stop the roof leak.
What is the black stuff, first of all? I don't even know what we're talking about.
Well, typically people would call it tar, but it's a mastic is what it is, which is solvent-based, asphalt type product. And the problem with that is we find that most topical repairs don't really solve roof problems long term. And there's a couple of reasons for that. We find, number one, the problem with mastics or this black tar.
Henry's, let's call
Henry's,
it what it
yeah.
is.
That's a brand name?
Right.
A brand name.
Okay, so-
That's a brand name
it's a
that
tar,
people
okay.
go and they pick up big tubs of it and smear it everywhere. The problem with it is, number one, it's not designed to be out in the UV. So if it is out in the UV, it's gonna dry it out, the solvents out of it. It's going to harden, it's going to crack, it's going to leak again if it does stop it. More importantly, usually doesn't stop it, and then we as roofers have to come in and spend more money digging all that stuff out to get to the problem.
So there's 2 points I want to make on that. Is one, that if you have a leak, that's not a good answer. But the other thing is you definitely want to have regular inspections on your roof, because other roofers might be using that product on roof jacks and flashings, and it wears out, and then you could prevent a problem by just having an inspection.
So if you bought a home and you may not know the history of that roof, some lesser roofer than Wayne may have tried to use a
Right.
shortcut, and then you don't know that your roof's at risk. Did you see that happen sometimes, Wayne?
Oh, all the time. Yeah, and what happens? It cracks, and then if it did solve a problem, it's leaking again because the product is cracked.
I have a question here, guys, and just as the novice, the trend I hear in these myths is kind of topical. That as a layman, I would think go cover up the leak, because that's kind of what you think. But the reality is the leak, I mean, the water's coming through the top, but the problem is likely deeper in the roof, correct? It's not just on top.
Yeah, what we find is that what we want to do is dig down to the base, track where the water's coming from, because you can always track it, and then solve the problem and put it back together. That's how you really fix a roof leak, that you can walk away and guarantee it like we do, because you've gone to the base, you know what the problem is, you solved it. You're not just putting a Band-Aid over it, crossing your fingers and hope it works.
And that's what a quality roofer like Wayne and Top Line Roofing does. Greg, the most important thing I think you hit on, your recommendation, you make it all the time, and your expert advice is to get a roof inspection. If you don't know when your last roof inspection was, it's time to get one, right?
Absolutely. And, depending on the age of your roof, I think every couple of years. In the older roofs, you might want to be more vigilant. And there's a point where you're going to have to replace your roof. And so it's important to, don't wait till it's too late and have your whole home damaged, your floors, your personal belongings, and all those things.
And Wayne, you say, I think when you do a roof inspection, maybe you can go longer than every couple of years because the quality of your roof inspection. But if somebody doesn't know when the roof has been done, they should get an inspection right away. Or if it's been more
get
than
all the way. What
several
we always say, or if there's a reason you got a tile roof and it was tinted, well, have it looked at.
Okay.
If you've had something going on, a tree falls on the roof, those type of things, you want to do it right away. But other times, you just want to do it on a regular basis, just to make sure there's not problems. Particularly tile roofs, asphalts can maybe go a little longer than a tile roof, possibly.
What I want to make sure everybody hears the recommendation. Get your roof inspected. We have rain coming, Greg said, Mr. Weatherman, and I'm sure it's true. And you don't want to be the person with the blue tarp. The other thing is, we say this all the time, people oftentimes are afraid to have the free inspection, it's a no-charge inspection you offer, done because they think it's just an excuse to have somebody come out and sell them something. Right. I'm going to tell you from our experience, our screening and vetting, and what we've done with Top Line and their reputation, they are absolutely not going to sell you something you don't need. They're just going to give you peace of mind. And if they make a recommendation, it's valid. Hey, have it checked out by somebody else. It's going to check out. Wayne, if somebody needs to get that inspection right now, what's the number to call you?
858-905-5903.
One more time?
858-905-5903.
Thank you so much, Wayne. Let's move over to Cheryl. Cheryl, we are going to be talking about top trends in flooring, but earlier you were saying you don't actually want people to call Wayne and Top Line Roofing. Right?
No, let's wait till there's a big leak and it's ruined their floors, and they come see me and we get all new floors, and if you hit the kitchen, let's get new cabinets, and let's go for it. Let's just completely redesign our house because we didn't get our roof inspection. Oh, wait a minute. Get the roof inspection.
Of course, we're kidding. That's humor. That's our stab at humor. But yeah, I mean, it's true though. If you don't get your roof taken care of, you will be calling the flooring company to get your flooring done. Call Cheryl, get your cabinets redone. But no, you want to avoid that. But Cheryl, we have Cheryl Robertson, Superior Floor and Cabinet Design.
And Burger Hardware.
And Burger Hardware. I can't forget Burger Hardware and North Park. You just got back from a huge show in Las Vegas called Surfaces, and you saw all the latest trends in flooring.
Yes, it's called Surfaces, the event.
Ooh.
They think a lot about
Even bigger.
A lot of, yeah. All kinds of amazing stuff. Of course, hardwood is king. Planks are getting wider, 10.5 inch, longer, 8, 9, 10 feet long.
Longer, wider, bigger sections of flooring, bigger planks.
Bigger planks, yeah, bigger planks. And then, of course, our, as Greg puts it, LV or luxury vinyl.
Yes.
Which sounds like an oxymoron, but it's a great product, easy to live on, very easy to care for. It looks beautiful. They're improving it every year. Most of the looks, the really beautiful ones, are in Boston Register, which means that the texture of the floor matches the visual of the floor. So if you looked at it laid, you wouldn't know that it wasn't a wood floor unless you got down and really touched it and wait a minute, this feels a little different. It's a little bit more resilient than wood flooring.
That's what's so great about the luxury vinyl and people think vinyl is cheap, but it's not at all. And it's so durable. And when you look at it from a distance, you can't even tell sometimes if it's wood or, the different products are just so true to life now.
They are, and easier to live on.
So when we talk about vinyl, and we were talking about this in prep earlier too, I flash back to my grandmother's 1978, vinyl floor it looked, started to peel up over time and things. So this is not just a remarketing of the same old product. It's been redesigned, re-engineered, and it's a modern product. So luxury vinyl is not what we think of as
It is
vinyl.
not sheet vinyl. It is planks.
It's not rolled out.
No, it's not rolled out into sheets. It's plank flooring locked together like wood floor planks are, but it's watertight, it's waterproof, scratch resistant, and kids, dogs, whatever, easy to live on.
If somebody wants to go talk to you and you would guide people through anything that they need with flooring, let's talk first about Superior Floor. Where is Superior Floor and Cabinet Designs located?
It is in Encinitas, 579 Westlake Street, Encinitas, right off Encinitas Boulevard.
And how could somebody call you to be able to ask questions or go in, set up to go and see you?
760-284-1150.
We also mentioned Burger Hardware, which is also a company that has been in San Diego forever. Where is Burger Hardware located, where you can find a variety of other things?
We're on 30th between Lincoln and University, 397 30th Street, Burger Hardware since 1912.
So when we come back, we're going to continue, Greg, talking about the trends that are happening for 2018 in flooring. There's a lot of other things that we want to talk about. One of them is I want to talk more about the porcelain plank, which is something I love, but there's some things for lifestyle that we want to talk about. So that's going to be coming up right after the break. So stay tuned to the Approved Home Pros. We'll be right back in just a couple of minutes. Welcome back to Approved Home Pros. I am your host and co-founder, Sean Johnson, here with my good friend, Greg Cantor from Murray Lampert Design, Build, Remodel. And on the line is another good friend, the security expert of Approved Home Pros, Richard Mates from Knight Security. Richard, how are you doing?
Very well. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Richard. Don't take this as being creepy, but I think about you every single night when I turn my alarm on and I have that peace of mind, and also my family who has one of your alarms. So I just wanted to tell you that I think of you often.
You think of Richard every night as you're crawling into bed? Is that what you're saying? That's a little creepy. That is creepy. That is creepy. Do you hear that, though, Richard, from people all the time that you've given them a peace of mind that they didn't have before?
I think that's really true, and it's probably one of the most rewarding parts of what we do is people do return to having peace of mind when they're away from their home. They don't have to worry. As I did with Greg, this was an interesting week in the fact I dealt with 4 or 5 folks with older alarms or alarms they bought from other companies when their big question is, could they update it without replacing everything? And the answer, absolutely yes. They can upgrade the electronics and convert to our firm if they like that. And it's very, very easy to do, much easier than probably a lot of other products.
That's a question I think a lot of people have.
Yes,
yeah, it is.
And so if people have questions about their system, replacing their system or a new system, how do they get a hold of you, Richard?
Well, you can reach me Monday through Friday. Obviously, at the office at our main number. And if you guys be kind enough, because I don't have
That's it. Yes, I have it right here for you. 619-797-6603. That's Richard's at Night Security. 619-797-6603. And Richard, you'll answer any questions about security, whether or not you put a system into somebody's house. You're there as a security consultant. And if somebody has an older system, they can call you at that number and you'll walk them through the whole process?
Exactly right. It's a very simple, straightforward procedure. They can get all the modern features without replacing all the valuable product that's already in their home. And we're happy to do that for folks.
Great, Richard. Thank you so much again. Night Security, 619-797-6603, the only security company, home security, fire protection, a variety of things that is recommended by approved home pros. And we'll talk to you again next week, Richard. Thank you.
Look forward to it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. So let's pick up where we left off, Greg. We were talking about, and I love trend stuff. I love hearing what's happening. And of course, we always say there's a balance between trend and timeless. You want to be current, but you don't want to seem dated in a couple of years. But Cheryl Robertson, you got back from a great event in Las Vegas. We talked about the event was all about flooring and current things happening in flooring. We talked about wood. We talked about luxury vinyl tile. And before the break, we said we want to talk about porcelain plank. Greg, you love porcelain plank, but you and Cheryl were saying there could be some lifestyle issues.
There is. And I mean, porcelain plank is very popular. People want it now. But Cheryl, explain what the differences are and why luxury vinyl is such a great consideration instead of plank.
Well, porcelain plank is a fabulous product. It's permanent. It's going to outlive your home. So that means if you get tired of it, it's hard to change.
Okay.
But the most important thing is it's hard. It's hard on your joints to stand on. It's everything. Things are going to break if you drop them, including you. There's a fall in all our future, so think about what you're falling on. But I mean, it's easy to care for and it's beautiful, but it has those lifestyle issues. It's hard, it's cold. You know, you put it in the pool house and the kids are sitting on the floor watching TV on their wet towels shivering. What are they going to do? They're going to pull the cushions off the couch and get those all covered in pool water instead of having something a little more resilient, a little more insulating. Luxury vinyls, just as durable. Well, maybe not just as durable because porcelain will last forever, but it's going to last you 10, 15, 20 years. And it's warmer. You don't have the issues with your joints standing on it, working in the kitchen. And if you fall, you're not as apt to break something.
But, you know, it sounds like the things that make porcelain plank such a great product in some ways, its durability, its hardness, those also have drawbacks. So depending on your application and your lifestyle, the thing I always liked about the porcelain plank was it had the look, you could get those wood looks and the graining to it, right? But with the luxury vinyl tile now that you're saying that has the embossed
and Boston Register.
So that also has the graining to it too. So that fixes that.
And that's what's so great about these products. The technology is so good that these man-made products can look like the real thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the lifestyle of living on it versus a wood floor. You never have to be just anxious about what's happening to your floor.
So as my dogs are scrambling across the floor, running up and down the stairs, I wouldn't have to worry that they're pulling up all the finish on my wood floor, which they are with either the porcelain plank or the luxury vinyl tile. Correct.
Correct.
Let's talk about some other trends you saw, and this to me is interesting. At the Surfaces event in Las Vegas, you saw that patterns in carpet are becoming a bigger trend. Yes.
Yes, they are. Whether it's geometric patterns, squares and lines and detail like that, or florals are coming back. Not crazy Las Vegas kind of thing.
So not like the floor of a casino in Vegas.
No, more delicate, or animal prints.
So leopard print.
So you might not consider doing your whole house in leopard print, but say you want a really fun family room, game room,
right? And
you have your beautiful hardwood floor or luxury vinyl floor, and then make an area rug, a custom area rug to fit your room, to fit your life, how you live, and like if you want it under the couch and the coffee table and everything, we can make a custom area rug out of any carpeting product in our store.
Hold on, I didn't know that. So if I like a carpet pattern or style, you can make a rug custom out of that carpet style for me?
Absolutely.
I didn't know that. That's great.
Yeah.
That solves for me, because one of the things I was thinking, let's say I wanted to have that fun. I wanted to have a leopard print. I wanted to have a wild family room, which I would. I don't think Heather would agree with that, but I think it would be fun. The transition between the other flooring type and that one, to me, could be a little bit jarring. If you have like a wood-grained luxury vinyl tile butted right up against a leopard print carpet in the hall. Would that transition be weird? But then if you had a different kind of flooring and just a rug out of that, it makes the transition into the room easier, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, let's talk about, Greg, the trends. Now, the grays have been hot for a long time. In a
Grays are
variety of
done.
things. Grays are, that's what I was going to say. Are gray, what's happening in color tones?
They're moving more toward. Sorry, I
That's
cut
no,
right in.
that's okay.
They're moving more to the taupes and the warm colors again.
That's what I
There
thought.
is still some hint of gray in there because you can't you got to link what's been done before. But if you go and you put in primarily grays, it's going to look like you did your house in 2008.
And that's
Okay,
important
wow.
because you really want, when you spend your money, you don't want something that's trendy and then in a few years, I mean, it seemed good at the time, but then you're spending your money again to replace it.
Right. That's why you do something a little bit timeless but is current. Whether you're doing the flat laminate kitchen cabinets that are modern and sleek, but in a timeless color, or white shaker is timeless.
So-
Same thing.
So, what I love about you and Superior is that you are there to guide people through a lot of this, and it's not where just you walk in and point to someone and say, "I want that." You're going to help guide people through the process. Give people the phone number to call you if they have any questions, and then we can talk about where that people can go to visit you at Superior Floor.
Okay, 760-284-1150.
And what's the location of Superior Floor and Cabinet Designs?
It is in Encinitas, 579 Westlake Street, Encinitas, right off Encinitas Boulevard.
Go in and visit Cheryl Robertson. She'll help you with anything you need with your flooring. Also, don't forget
And
Burger
cabinetry.
and cabinetry. And also, don't forget Burger Hardware is a part of your empire as well in North Park on 30th and basically 30th and University area. Thank you so much. And I know we have some social media posts about some of these trends. You did a TV segment that's coming up. So great stuff from you, Cheryl. Thank you so much for joining us this
Thank you
morning.
for having me.
All right, Greg, let's kind of change up here and talk about something that I am really excited about, because I have learned a little bit from Matt Jeans from Legacy Shading about automation and shades. But Greg, you're learning, I think, even some things from him in the
Yes.
process that you want to incorporate into Murray Lampert. Matt, welcome to the show this morning. Motorization, automation in blinds and the home. We're going to be covering a lot of that in the next segment, but just tease me a little bit. Is it going to change my lifestyle if I automate?
Yes, there's three things I want to talk about today after break. First is there's a standalone automation system where you just have your shades that are automated. Secondly, how you can have a standalone automation system that might be an app on your phone, and then how automated shades can actually wrap into a home automation system that you might already have.
Yeah, after the break, we're going to jump into all of those things, because I have, and Heather and I have a situation in our home where we tend to put our blinds down and then they end up staying down for days just because we get busy and we forget about it. But you have solutions that will fix all of that, automated. We can forget about all of it. And also you have a great offer for people that we're going to talk about with Lutron and just some wonderful things. So stay tuned to Approved Home Pros. Real quick, give the phone number somebody needs to call you at Legacy.
858-352-0092. Again, that's 858-352-0092.
Thanks, Matt. And stay tuned. So when we come back, we're going to talk all about home automation with your blinds and shades.
Look forward to it.
You're listening to the Approved Home Pro Show, your friends in the home improvement business.
Welcome back to Approved Home Pros. I am here with Greg Cantor from Murray Lampert Design, Build, Remodel, with Matt Jeans from Legacy Shading. Before the break, we teased it a little bit, talking about automation and motorization with shades and blinds and some of the lifestyle changes. So again, let's start with me as an example. With our lifestyle, we don't tend to use, I think, our windows and our blinds to our advantage. They're just something that's there, and we don't use them much. And when they're down, they tend to stay down. Up, they tend to stay up. How would that change?
People typically do not interact with their window treatments if they're manual. There's probably 1 out of 15 clients that we go see who is transitioning from one home to another, and they're considering motorized blinds, but for cost, we want to do a lot that are manual. But only about 1 out of 15 are actually in the habit of going around and raising all their shades. But other than that, they're not. So I say, hey, your shades stay down most of the time, I bet. And they go, you're right.
So, Sean, we have the same thing as you do. Our dogs like to go out and watch for people and bark.
Yes, they do.
Our problem
bad
is we
dogs.
have a shade, but my daughter's standard poodle decided to chew the slats. So it doesn't matter if we close the shades, there's really no coverage.
Well, yeah, ours haven't done that, but we do have two bad dogs, Penny and Summer. Hope you're listening. But if we had a system like you're able to put in, and you're able to both retrofit, meaning you're able to put battery operated in without any wiring, or completely integrated, then we would be able to set those, or with one press of a button, raise or lower those shades, and would we get more enjoyment of our life because we'd actually see our view?
Well, it really doesn't even depend on what kind of a view someone might have out of their home, or what you're looking at when you raise your blinds. Because if you can you have a glass window there.
Right.
If you have your blinds down all the time, it's like having a wall there.
It's like living in a cave.
But there's a balance, though, because you need coverage so that the sun doesn't fade your furniture and your flooring and all those things.
Correct.
But you still want to take advantage of the view.
Right. Or just at least open your room up. And that's where putting a blind on some sort of motorization does that for you. Because at a touch of a button where you wouldn't otherwise do so, you can open up your room and enjoy that outside coming in.
Greg, when we were prepping, one of the things that got me was the not just the motorization, but there's programs that can set it astronomically to when the sun is going to rise and set, and be able to adjust and be smart about that, so you don't have to worry about it. Is that true?
Yep, it is.
And it's pretty affordable. In the day, it used to be only commercial big buildings would do that.
Right,
But
right.
now for residences, you can do that.
You know what? Just like all the water running down the roof, all the technology trickles down.
Right.
And so what we have now is that Lutron has so many scalable programs. You have Caseta, which I'm going to talk about a little later, and Radio Raw 2 Select, Radio Raw 2, Homeworks. There's all sorts of different levels, whether you're doing a retrofit, a remodel, or a full home build.
And I want to jump into that really quick because we talked about there's two distinct differences. If you're just doing shading and you're not going through a remodel, you have the battery operated ones so that you don't have to worry about hardwiring.
Right.
But if you're doing a major remodel, you might want to do the wiring, and also consider that Lutron, like you said, is scalable. We use Lutron, the systems that basically as a brain that you can just add on components to.
Right. So the Caseta that I just mentioned is a smaller brain, but it's pretty powerful. So Lutron.
So Caseta, is it a system? Is it a program? What is Caseta?
Caseta is the brand name for a small, what I would call like micro automation.
Okay.
So what you're going to have is you're going to have a small component that plugs into your Wi-Fi router, and it acts as an interface between your phone and all of the Lutron components that are in your house. So that is they're automated shades, they're dimmers. It can also tie into a Nest, and it can tie into Alexa.
So you can say, Alexa, raise my blinds, or Alexa, raise the
total
blinds
Star
in my
Trek.
living room.
Come on. Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are afraid that though this was, Greg, as you said, high-end buildings in the past, and then it moved down to maybe the big mansion on the hill have this.
Sure.
Now everybody can basically afford this, right? The cost of these things is pretty minimal compared to.
It's minimal enough that right now that if someone calls in and they buy at least 3 battery shades for their home, then we're going to offer them a Caseta starter kit. And the Caseta starter kit has the Caseta SmartBridge brain, and it also has a dimmer that you can replace one of your lights, maybe your commonly used light somewhere, and that will show up on your app, and you can control that even when you're away from home because it's Wi-Fi internet based.
So that's a great offer. I mean, just 3 and battery operated. So you're not talking about any construction. You're just really talking about retrofitting into the windows. You get that system. That's a great offer. What's the number somebody would call to be able to take advantage of that?
858-352-0092.
One more time.
858-352-0092.
That's a great offer. And you don't have to give me an exact price, but again, these things are affordable.
Right.
They're not free, but they're not expensive either. I mean, can somebody get into this? Is it less than they may think what it is? Where are we talking?
The Caseta SmartBridge from Lutron, it retails at about $150.
So you're including that for people with the
Right,
with
and
the
then
three.
the dimmer is probably about another 50. So it's about a 250 when you consider the little Pico remote that you get with it.
But once you have that, you can expand. You can
Oh,
scale that up
exactly.
to more windows and door openings, right?
Well, what happens is you get that in there, and now all of a sudden you're controlling your kitchen and dining light, and then you go, oh, the kids are leaving the hallway light all the time. So you can add a dimmer for your hallway light. Or now, don't be misled. We do not do electrical work. We're not electricians. We're just window treatment people. But
We have them in the network, though.
Yes,
We can
Yes,
connect
you do. But we are focused. We are not spread thin. We are focused solely on window treatments.
And you're a great company that specializes in that. And I was so excited when we met you, when you became part of our network, because it's an area that people can really benefit their lives. They can get great looking things with
Right.
automation that is a simple, easy upgrade that will have huge payoff for you.
Yeah, when we come in to look at somebody's needs, then what we're doing is coming in to see how you live in your home and go through all the different options so that you don't end up with I wish we would have.
Yeah, that's great. So I think if you're staying in your home and you want to do the retrofit, that's easy. If you're staying in your home and you want to do a little bit more, you can do the installed, or if you're going through remodel with somebody like Greg and Murray Lampert, you can go all the way with it. You can do a little bit of your home, or you can do your whole home. The options are
Right.
really endless with you guys.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you for your number one more time.
858-352-0092.
Yeah, sorry to be driving that home so many times. I feel like a infomercial, but it's because this is something that I really want people out there to listen to and explore. And Greg, it's an easy upgrade for people to make.
And that deal is, take advantage of that deal.
Absolutely. And Lutron, everything that you guys offer is wonderful. Matt, thank you so much. We're also going to do some social media posts with the offer so people can see it there and some images. And people can always go to approvedhomepros.com/legacy to be able to see some examples or make it to your website. So thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, it's great to have you as a part of the network. We really love this company, so thank you so much to Legacy. We're about to run out of time here. I did want to mention real quick that, Cheryl, you have a Gardens of Beauty event tonight from 6 to 10 p.m. Where's that located?
That is located at the Inn Gallery, 1878 Main Street, San Diego, 92113. It is to benefit New Paths Paved, a group that I work with to solve homelessness, and the Unbattled Project, which helps veterans.
That's great. Thank you so much. You've been involved in so many things with the community. I also wanted to personally thank you. Those of you that know the show have heard Sue Fries, the termite lady, who does a lot of charity work, and she has a home that she created for women that are coming out of domestic abuse situations,
Yes.
which is a huge issue. Of course, we can't give the location of that home or even indicate remotely where it is. It's somewhere in North County-ish area. But you donated with one of your vendors the flooring for that home, and thank you for
Not
that.
all the flooring, but
A large
she had
portion
some
of it.
flooring issues, and so we got some luxury vinyl for the bathrooms, and we did some cherry hardwood for the dining area.
That's so wonderful. Thank you for helping with that as you help with many things in the community, Cheryl. Thank you for that. Greg, we, with Cantor's Corner, brought to you by Murray Lampert Design, Build, Remodel, we've got just a couple of minutes. Let's touch on that, and then I want to just kind of recap the show. But what's and we're going to have a short Cantor's Corner today, so we'll probably put more online. But go ahead.
So what I kind of wanted to talk, we've discussed design build a lot, and I have an actual situation where someone we're working with right now thought he was working with an architect, turned out to be a drafts person, and got way down the line and found out that this thing was going to be so far over their budget. And I just want to reinforce how important it is that the design process, and as you go along, knowing what things cost, is just a really important part of making that decision and being well informed, because there's no point in drawing up a set of plans and the homeowner spending their own time and finding out that it got over designed, when that's just so avoidable if there's transparency and collaboration.
And you guys, as a design build firm, you do the design as a part of your build. You know the costs, and you can also do things like we were talking again. We should probably do a whole show that's nothing but our prep. You were talking with Matt from Legacy Shading earlier about wanting to be able to incorporate that into your remodel options and say, what about
Right.
your windows and shading. Also with Cheryl with Superior talking about flooring. So you're able to take lifestyle and technology and all these things and fit it into the option.
And that's where it really starts. Is we ask questions about lifestyle, and that way we really hit a home run when it comes down to the design.
Well, that's Greg Cantor, Murray Lampert, Design, Build, Remodel. Thank you so much, Greg.
Thank you.
You can find them on approvedhomepros.com/Murray Lampert. Tune in next week to Approved Home Pros. We're going to have another great show for you, or log on to approvedhomepros.com to find anything you need for your home. We're your friend in the home improvement business.